some of the most confusing pain we carry comes from a truth that's difficult to hold. You were loved, just not in the way you needed. The hands that held you were doing their best. The hearts that claimed you were genuine in your care. The people who raised you, who shaped you, who said they loved you, they meant it. And yet, something essential was missing. Something you couldn't name then but have felt as an absence your entire life. This isn't about placing blame or denying the love that was given. It's about acknowledging a more nuanced reality that many of us experience but struggle to articulate. It's possible to be genuinely loved and still not have your deepest needs met. To be cared for but not truly seen. To be wanted but not understood. To receive affection but still feel alone in the rooms where you should have felt most connected. The love that didn't land leaves a particular kind of wound. It's more subtle than outright rejection, more confusing than clear abandonment. It creates a dissonance that can follow you through life, the gap between knowing intellectually that you were loved and feeling emotionally that something vital was missing. You learned early to doubt your own experience. I shouldn't feel this way. I was more fortunate than many. They did their best. I'm being ungrateful. And in that self-doubt, the wound deepens. What makes this especially difficult is the misalignment between intention and impact. Those who loved you may have genuinely believed they were giving you everything you needed. They fed you, clothed you, provided for you, protected you, celebrated your achievements, and tended to your physical needs. By their definition, by their understanding, by the templates they inherited, they were loving you completely. But love is not just what the giver intends, it's also what the receiver experiences. And what you experienced was a love that, despite its genuine qualities, somehow missed the mark. Perhaps you needed emotional attunement, but received practical support instead. Maybe you needed validation of your feelings, but got solutions to your problems. You might have hungered for curiosity about your inner world, but received praise only for your outer accomplishments. You may have needed patient listening, but got well-meaning advice. You might have craved gentle holding in moments of vulnerability, but were taught to toughen up instead. This mismatch creates a peculiar kind of emotional malnourishment, like being fed regularly, but missing key nutrients that allow you to truly thrive. You weren't starved of love entirely, but the love you received wasn't balanced in the ways your particular spirit needed to flourish. And just as physical malnourishment has lasting effects on the body, emotional malnourishment shapes how you relate to yourself and others long after childhood ends. You might find yourself perpetually hungry for a type of connection you can't quite define. You might struggle to believe compliments or trust affection, always sensing that there's a gap between what's being offered and what would reach the lonely places within you. You might feel like an imposter in your own life, going through the motions of relationships without the sense that you're truly known or that your authentic self is welcome. One of the most common forms this takes is love without listening. Care that comes with assumptions rather than questions, with projection rather than perception. When your experiences, preferences, or feelings didn't match what was expected, they might have been dismissed, corrected, or simply ignored. The message wasn't that you weren't loved. It was that you were loved for who they thought you were, or who they needed you to be, rather than for who you were. This creates a painful pattern where being truly seen becomes disconnected from being loved. You learn, unconsciously, that to receive love, you must hide parts of yourself. That authentic expression risks rejection. Your role is to adapt to others' expectations rather than to express your genuine needs and feelings. This isn't a lesson anyone intended to teach you, but it gets absorbed through countless small moments where your authentic experience was subtly or overtly invalidated. These childhood echoes reverberate in adult longings. The specific ways love missed the mark for you as a child often become the precise qualities you seek most desperately in adult relationships. If your emotions weren't validated in childhood, you might find yourself drawn to partners who are emotionally expressive and affirming. Or conversely, you might recreate the familiar dynamic by choosing emotionally unavailable people. If your boundaries weren't respected, you might seek relationships where autonomy is emphasized, or struggle to establish any boundaries at all. These patterns aren't coincidental. They're your psyche's attempt to heal old wounds, either by seeking what was missing or by recreating the familiar dynamics you've learned to navigate. The challenge is that without awareness, these patterns rarely lead to healing. Instead, they often reproduce the original pain in new contexts, with new people, perpetuating the sense that love will always somehow miss the mark. Breaking this cycle begins with naming the void, finding language for what was missing, not to blame those who loved you incompletely, but to clarify your own needs and experiences. This naming is powerful. It validates that your emotional responses weren't wrong or ungrateful, but natural reactions to genuine gaps in how you were loved. It helps you distinguish between the love that was given and the love that was needed, holding both as true without having to deny either reality. This naming might sound like, I was loved for my achievements, but not for my authentic self. I was loved with physical care, but not emotional presence. I was loved conditionally, when I met expectations, rather than consistently, regardless of my performance. I was loved with good intentions, but without the curiosity needed to know me. These statements aren't indictments. They're clarifications that allow you to understand the specific ways your needs went unmet. With this clarity comes the possibility of learning to ask for more, of developing the capacity to identify and express your emotional needs in current relationships. This isn't easy when you've been conditioned to doubt the legitimacy of those needs or to believe they're too much to ask for. It requires courage to say, I need you to listen without trying to fix things. I need to know you're curious about my experience. I need to feel that my emotions are welcomed, not just my successes. This asking isn't selfish or demanding. It's an act of trust and intimacy to share your genuine needs with others. It creates the possibility for connections that heal rather than repeat old patterns. And importantly, it allows those who love you now to love you more completely than was possible for those who didn't have the awareness, capacity, or models to meet your needs in the past. But healing isn't just about getting your needs met by others. It's also about developing the capacity to meet your own needs, to provide yourself with the validation, curiosity, and unconditional positive regard that may have been missing in your early experiences of love. This isn't a substitute for connection, but a foundation that allows you to enter relationships from a place of greater wholeness rather than desperate hunger. This self-nurturing might look like learning to sit with your own emotions without dismissing them. It might involve cultivating genuine curiosity about your inner experience rather than judging it. It could mean learning to validate your own needs instead of automatically assuming they're excessive or unimportant. These practices don't erase the past, but they create new experiences of being emotionally held and seen that gradually transform your relationship with yourself and others. Through this process, you gradually begin redefining what love means, moving from inherited definitions that may have missed crucial elements to a more nuanced understanding that encompasses both giving and receiving, both intention and impact. You learn that true love includes both care and understanding, both support and curiosity, both holding and freedom. You discover that love at its most complete doesn't require hiding parts of yourself, but invites your whole being into the light. This redefinition allows you to hold compassion for those who loved you incompletely while still honoring the impact of what was missing. You can recognize that they gave what they knew how to give, offered love in the ways they understood it, and did so with genuine care, while simultaneously acknowledging that it wasn't everything you needed. This both-and perspective allows for gratitude without denial, for healing without blame, and perhaps most importantly, this journey allows you to break the cycle, to love others, especially the next generation, more completely than you were loved. Not perfectly, perfection isn't the standard, but with greater awareness of the many dimensions of love, with more attunement to others' unique needs rather than just your assumptions about what they should need, with more curiosity about their authentic experience rather than just your intentions. The truth that you were loved, just not in the way you needed, isn't meant to diminish the love you received or to cast blame on those who gave it. It's a doorway to a deeper understanding of your own experience and needs. It's an invitation to greater self-compassion for the confusion and longing you've carried. And it's the beginning of a new possibility, of loving and being loved in ways that reach the places in you that have been waiting all this time to be truly seen. If these reflections have resonated with your experience, know that you're not alone. Many of us carry the complex reality of having been genuinely loved, yet still having crucial needs unmet. There's no contradiction in honoring both the love that was given and the love that was missing. Both are part of your story, and both have shaped who you are. If you found value in exploring these unspoken truths, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who might benefit from this perspective, and subscribe to our channel for more reflections on the emotional experiences that shape our lives. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of the feelings we all carry, but rarely find words to express. The journey of healing is not about erasing the past, but about understanding it with greater compassion, for those who loved you as best they could, and for the child within you who needed more than they knew how to give. In that compassion lies the possibility of loving and being loved more completely now than was possible then.